So, don't hit rewind. It's always a good time with this trans man. It's always a good time with Zion.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the channel. So I'm going to be talking about the time that I was wrongfully terminated for being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. So I worked at this place called All Season Sports Academy, and it was just a place for people to, sports teams and athletes to come and practice, basically. And they had different courts and shit, right? So long story short, I wasn't properly trained for this position. I was supposed to know how to set up the courts, take them down. It was like this whole overly complicated process, and they were supposed to teach me step by step how to do it. They didn't do that. I was supposed to answer phones, and schedule people. When I would struggle with that shit because the screen was so damn small, and like I have visual problems, and I couldn't hear the customers on the phone that well, so it was just a recipe for disaster with that part. And when I was trying to ask for help with scheduling people and using the system, nobody wanted to fucking help me, and I was like, okay. But they just had this big ass, like, kind of like the pictures I have at the top of myself, like sheets like that size, one after the other on the wall of a bunch of rules they printed out. They expected me to memorize all that shit within like 2-3 days. Wasn't fucking happening. Yeah, they was just trying to get me to do their dirty work. Shit they didn't want to do. When it came to cleaning, they wanted me to take the trash out. Big ass bags of trash with my tiny ass across to the end of the parking lot. Food is spilling out, all this shit. Struggling, it's brick outside. Like, I was like, what the fuck? All this shit, cleaning the bathrooms, specifically the men's bathrooms, all this shit they were trying to get me to do. Wanted me to run concessions, change the entire register on my ass. They didn't even tell me. I couldn't get the bitch open. Like, how the fuck do you work this new shit? I don't know how the fuck to do this. Little things like that. They didn't properly train me for anything. I was working there for less than a month. I deadass got 2 checks from that bitch. 2. And this was right before the pandemic, like February into March. Like a week, maybe the end of February, because it was like a week before the world shut down. So, yeah. Like, just as quickly as I got the job, I didn't have the job anymore. I got hired on the spot. Like, I kept coming in like, can I come in for an interview? Can I come in for an interview? They finally let me come in and they hired me that day. So, I was like, okay, bet, I got me a little job now. But it was like all the shit they wanted me to do, they weren't properly training me to do. Like, the way I got trained at Sky Zone, step by step, physically trained, visually seeing how things are done, they didn't do that. And it was a much more complicated job, so it's pissing me off because I'm like, yo, how y'all just gonna have somebody in here doing this shit? And what really set it off was this day. I hadn't gone to work the day before I was supposed to, but I told him I can't make it because I have a scholarship brunch at Bloomfield College and when I would like to attend. So that was that, because I had yet to really visit any college campus, period. So I was like, I want to go to this one. So I let them know. And I was like, I'm not ditching just to ditch. I'm not doing a no-show. I'm literally going to a college. So, yeah. Should I have said something a bit sooner? Sure. That's fine. I could take responsibility for that. But the next day was bullshit. Like, why are you having someone that is not properly trained opening up, starting shift like that by themselves? I got the place open, yes. Like, the door. That was it. But, like, the courts, I didn't know how to set any of that up. And it wasn't evident when you look at the shit. It was like all this underhand, shit. There's certain things you have to press, time, all that. I didn't know how to do none of that. So I couldn't get any of the courts set up. So the teams are staying. It's like 7 a.m. The teams are ready to practice, and I can't even get them started to practice. So I called the manager. She was sleeping. It was so obvious. All the, hello. Like, all this shit catching an attitude with me because I woke her up on a Sunday morning. I was like, I don't give a fuck what day it is. I don't care. Nobody asked you to set me up to do this shit at this time when I barely know how to do this fucking job. So she called up back up. She called up this guy. I'm going to call him Jack. So Jack pulls up to help me get the courts set up and everything. Still didn't show me how to set it up, by the way, but he just told me, stand here. I'm going to go in there, handle this shit, calm the teams and coaches down so they can get started. So I said, okay. He sets everything up. Da-da-da-da-da. Gets the office door open, all this shit. They give me the keys. And that was that. He said, okay, if you need help with anything, just call me back. I'm a call away. I'm a ride away. I'm not that far from here. Just let me know. So, yeah. So Jack pulled up and left. And then something happened. I don't remember at all what happened, but I do remember I had to call him back again. And when I called him back, he was like, you know what, maybe you should just go home for the day. I'll handle everything. Cause you seem overwhelmed and, you know, a bit flustered. And I was like, I am, cause I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I appreciate you coming out to help me, but I generally do not know what I'm doing. I haven't been properly trained enough to feel confident in just opening a place like that. I don't know why she scheduled me to do that for today. If she was gonna do that, she should have had somebody like you, or it's just somebody with me to walk me through the opening process so I don't run into all these problems that I ran into. Because it was a lot. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go home. And I was like, maybe on a different day you could properly train me, because the manager didn't do it. Nobody else was trying to help me when I would ask for help for different things. So maybe you seem like someone who'd be willing to help a new guy out. Pardon me. So he said, I bet. Here's my number. We can schedule that or figure something out with the manager, and you'll know how to do this stuff in no time. So I said, okay, bet. And I was very appreciative of him. And I was like, okay, cool. Not like, what's good, like you could be my friend, all that type shit, but like just someone I could look to for guidance. So I go, because that's when he came back and said you should go home for the day. And I think a couple of days later, I went to the movies with two people I used to be friends with. We went to go see The Invisible Man. I don't know if any of y'all saw that, but it came out in 2020. We went to go see that shit. There was a group chat for the team, like for the workers. There was a group chat with the manager and all the workers. And they would send out the schedules and all that shit in there. And my friend was in there. My friend from school had been working there at the time. She was the one who told me about the job to begin with. She had been working there at the time. And while I'm watching the movie, she texts me and she's like, did you quit? And I was like, no, I didn't quit. What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, you're not in the group chat shit anymore. And I was looking at it like, all this stuff she was telling me they were talking about, I couldn't fucking see. Because, yeah, she had kicked me out. So I just saw whatever had been spoken about hours prior, but not anything about my schedule or anything like that. So she had removed me from the group chat and didn't schedule me. She had essentially fired me without telling me. The manager fired, didn't say shit to me about it. Had no plans of saying nothing to me about it. So I go and text her like, did you fire me? And she's like, yeah. And then I was like, why? Because Jack said you wanted to quit. So I took you off. I was like, in what professional environment is that okay? Some random ass coworker said I wanted to quit, and you go and take his word for it and just take me off the ship without consulting me to make sure I said that? Even if that's the case, why would I go and tell somebody that and not tell you? Make it make sense. Anytime I've had to leave a job, I go and tell the managers. That's how you do. You don't go tell some random ass coworker. Like that didn't make no sense to me that she believed that shit, that I said that. And I felt like she was just looking for an opportunity to let me go anyways, because she wasn't feeling me well. I'm like, it's not my fault that I had to call you that Sunday when you didn't properly train me. If you had properly trained me, I would have been fine. I wouldn't have had to call you. That's on you. So I was like, listen, you feel however the fuck you feel. I don't give a fuck, but the least you could do is let me know. And she's like, you missed all these shifts. I missed one shift. And I did not do a no-show. I let you know before that I wasn't going to make it. That's the only thing you could honestly penalize me for, because it probably was last minute. I don't remember how many days ahead I said something, but I definitely was on the schedule already. So yeah, that was about it. But I'm like, that was the only time I did that. I showed up on time for every other shift I had. I did the best that I could with a little bit of help I was getting. Just going through the shit all confused and shit, just trying to push through, you know. But she wasn't trying to hear. She's like, well, Jack said this. I'm like, why the fuck? I was so over it. So then I went to Jack. I started texting Jack. I'm like, wait, Jack, why the fuck did you... tell Joanne that I wanted to quit. And he was like, cause you just seem so overwhelmed and shit, like you didn't feel like being there, and that's why I told you to go home. But I'm like, okay, I thought you said go home for the day, not go home and not come back. Yes, everybody has their days at work, but that does not mean I want to quit. I wasn't trying to quit. I was trying to learn the job for real, and I thought that you were gonna help me do that, so that I could be working there for a while. Even though little did we know that we weren't gonna be working anywhere, but in the moment I was like, I wanted you to, help me out, because you seem like you could give good advice and guidance and probably show me how to do things. I want to do it well. Like, yeah, we're just here for the check, but I want to do it well. You feel me? So he was like, nah, all this. You seem like you wanted to quit. And I'm like, you can't assume some shit like that. That's stupid. It was stupid for her to believe you, and it was stupid for you to say something. And he didn't really seem to give a fuck. And I'm like, I started getting pissed. Like, you do realize that a lot of this is your fault, right? And he could tell I was starting to catch an attitude through my text. Like, my tone was already tense when I started texting him, but it was good enough there because it was pissing me off that he thought that shit was okay. So he starts talking crazy, like, oh, we could run it up, da 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 da. I'm like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I don't give a fuck. He's the same height as me, but damn near, and was slim like me, similar build as me. I'm like, nigga, we could run it. We could do that. We could pull up. If that's what you want to do, I will gladly take my anger out on you because I'm furious. So I gave him the address and everything. I said, this is where I live. If you're serious, come. Come. So once he realized for real, he's just running his mouth, talking shit, thinking I'm not really. I'm like, yo, come. Once he saw I sent the address, he was like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, shit. Come here. The fuck, so I can wring your neck. Cause what the hell? That shit, like, it's just so two-faced to me. Like, why would you help me out like that? Make us seem like, someone I could trust and see guidance from in the future, and you do me like that. That's some shady shit. Some shady shit. Like, the dude I've been working with, like, a couple of days before was trying to get me to do all his dirty work. The trash that he was supposed to assign to do and all this. He was trying to do all that. Like, the boys there was on some shit. And I'm going to tell y'all why. They have been talking shit. And my friend, the girl, she was a girl, they have been saying some stuff to her about me. Like, assuming that I was a stud and all this. And I was like, okay, this is making sense. Because y'all felt threatened by my masculinity. Because at that time, I wasn't like publicly out as trans, but I was trans. I came to that realization. My closest friends knew. And I had used my chosen name at the job. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was giving off strong masculine vibes, like, as hell. And they assumed, but I didn't have a binder or anything yet, so they assumed that I was still identifying as a female, and they thought I was a stud, a masculine lesbian. That's what they thought. And they didn't like that shit. And that explains why they were trying to get me to do the trash and all that, trying to put me in a position like that. And I'm like, yo, this is some heavy. It was ridiculously big ass bags of trash that they wanted me to roll in the bin that wasn't properly working, all the way to the dumpster, and then take the bag and lift it over. It was such a struggle for me because I'm like, listen, y'all see, my arms, they didn't look that much better from then. I don't work out like that yet, and I'm not, it's not something I've consistently been working on. So I'm not the strongest, like, in my arms. So that shit, it was tumbling over. The trash was falling out, and it was a struggle. And it was quite a few bags of trash. I was going back and forth, and I was like, what the fuck? Shit like that. They knew I was gonna struggle doing it because they were the other guy was much bigger than me. He knew he could have easily got that done quickly, but he tried to put the whole thing on me, and I didn't appreciate that. But it was like all the little side petty shit that they had been doing, not trying to help me, all this, so they could just sit there on their phones and shit like that. Like, it was making sense why they were treating me like that. I thought, oh, they're just doing me like that because I'm new, which also happens. But y'all saw this masculine shit, y'all felt some kind of way, and I used to experience that in high school when people around other guys, they would treat me some kind of way. It'd be sending me dirty looks and shit when I'd be with my girlfriend at the time, and if they see me hug her, kiss her, anything, it was a problem. Like, they didn't like it. Cause they like, oh, this stuff getting bitches and shit. Like, hell yeah, I'm getting bitches. The fuck? Just like y'all. You get your bitches, I get mine. The fuck? Like, what's the... I didn't care. I'm like, yo, y'all getting y'all's. Why can't I get mine? But, like, it was a consistent thing with cis men. Like, they felt some kind of way. And I was like, here it is. Here is me going through this again. Y'all talking shit like, oh, saying, oh, she a stud, she this. Or they might have referred to me as a dyke. Yeah, that's what they told my friend, that I was a dyke. And they had a problem with that. And I was like, yo, first of all, you dead wrong. I don't even identify that way anymore. I'm not a stud. I'm not a lesbian. I'm not a female. So, y'all sound and look stupid as fuck. And even if I was, I'm like, so what? Why is my masculinity so threatening to you? I wasn't threatened by y'all. The fuck? I wasn't intimidated by y'all. I was trying to do my shit, get my check, and be done. That's it. I wasn't worried about y'all in that way. So, like, why are y'all so triggered by me, my existence? So I'm like, that explains why you said that. You just didn't want me around. Because it was only, like, cis men working there, then the cis women, and here I come. That little piece of the rainbow, and y'all got an issue with that. Like, what the fuck? It's causing all this random shit that got nothing to do with nothing. Because you don't like how I choose to identify, and y'all saw, ooh, that's a stud, Y'all saw that shit like I was competition or something. I'm not in competition with y'all. I'm on my fucking lane, and I'm in my fucking lane, and you're in yours. There's no competition going on. And as soon as she said, oh, they thought you were a steak, Jesus, they thought you were a dyke, that's all I needed to hear. She could have started off with that. I wouldn't have had to hear nothing else. I was like, yep. That explains everything. That explains everything that's happened. And I went off on Johnny or whoever. I was like, yo, fuck this gotta do with anything. Everything I just said to y'all, like, I said that to him, like, what the fuck does that gotta do with anything? And so what? This is not how you do shit. So if you wanna come here, because I'm gonna rock your shit, for real. Then he was trying to tone it down, like, oh no, I'm just saying, like, we don't gotta do all that, my bad, bro, like, all this shit. I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you shouldn't have, but it's too fucking late now. So, to hell with the whole thing. Like, I was so over it at that point. I kind of wish he had popped up, though, because I was really about to, like, throw that nigga to the ground and dog his shit until he was motherfucking bleeding. That's the kind of timing I was on. I was like, yo. I was so angry, because I'm like, why would you tell her that? Why would you believe? Like, it was just a bunch of shady shit going on. Then I started hearing rumors that she was fucking some of them in the parking lot. Yeah, let me not. I started hearing shit like that. I was like, so you riding his dick. That's why you acting like that. I know why he was acting like that, but why the fuck were you acting like that? You riding his dick. That's why. Okay, you little graduate student ass fucking on minors. Oh, shit. Did I say that? My fault. But I was starting to put two and two together, like, weird ass motherfuckers. Yo, my friend at the time was the only, like, everybody else was on some weird shit. Because it was mostly guys working there, and they did not fuck with a stud working there, or what they thought was a stud working there. And it would have been no better if they assumed I was a trans guy. Because, like, which that's what I was. It would have been no better because I've had issues with cis men. Like, it's something with cis men, and they just... Even the ones that are part of the community, even the gay ones, like, what the fuck? They have problems with us too. And I'm just like, I don't understand this shit. I don't. Why can't you just live in your however you choose to identify, cis, bi, whatever, just do you. Why the fuck do you care? Why are you bothered by someone else's identity? The fuck does that have to do with you? Like, that shit never made sense to me, for real. But yeah, that's the story. But the time they thought I was a stud, I'm like, really a trans man. But y'all had a problem with me being a part of the community, period. So y'all was trying to do all this extra shit to get me fired, and you succeeded. Which is fucked up. But I was like, it's not a place needed to be working anyway. Because I'm like, y'all was some dysfunctional ass motherfuckers. And I cannot be in an environment. Pardon me. I can't be in an environment like that. So that was a blessing in disguise. And the place shut down anyway with the pandemic. I don't even know they're open now, but they shut down because of that shit. So I wouldn't have had a job anyway. So it was whatever. But it was just the principle of how they moved. I don't like people who move weird like that. That's why I don't mess with a lot of people, because what the fuck are y'all on? And I sure as hell went back to Sky Zone, because like, at least y'all properly trained me. Like in a new position, when I did concessions, they properly trained me and everything. I didn't know how many people knew about my identity and all this shit, but I had a much better time over there, and the managers were cool with it. And they asked me why I got wrongfully terminated, and I said because of me being a part of the community. And they had a trans girl working there already, and a couple of gay people and shit like that. So they were cool with it. They're like, that's not gonna happen here. You're gonna be fine, and nothing like that. That's what happened. So yeah. But thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today's Friday. Y'all be seeing this video today. As soon as I get that motherfucker uploaded. But yeah, I don't know what I'm about to do next. It's just random shit, but I just wanted to get y'all a video out. But I hope y'all have a good day today. Stay blessed, stay up, and yeah.